What's going on, everyone? It's Aaron Malden, the Executive Protection Operation and Training Manager with AF Solution. I'm here today with Rick Sweeney over at SECFOR. Thanks for joining us, Rick.
Thanks, Aaron, for having me. Glad to be here.
Okay, so first, who is Rick Sweeney and who is SECFOR?
Well, let's just go on to SECFOR. We're kind of a boutique company. We're pretty small. We've kept it that way intentionally. And what we do is security operations, mainly outside the borders of the U.S. But with that said, with the recent civil unrest, we staffed a lot of details in Los Angeles and some of the other areas that we're having problems for some of our clients that do live stateside. But mostly what we've done for years, we incorporated in 2007, but I actually started the company in 2005 in Sarajevo, which a lot of people don't know. I was in and out of Iraq, and what I was doing back then is I was training up Bosnians who are very naturally good at this job for work in Iraq. That was really what we were looking at doing. And after a couple of years, we had a lot of opportunities in the States, and particularly cross-border operations in Mexico. So picked up and went to San Diego, California, and in 2007 started running cross-border operations into Mexico. We've been full-time in Mexico ever since then. So we were kind of one of the first ones that was messing around down there, and it was a huge difference from the Iraq area of operations and some of the other places that I'd been. Prior to that, I'd done at wartime Azerbaijan, wartime Bosnia. I was mainly going to conflict areas to do these things. And so, to tell you the truth, I didn't know how to do a suit and tie detail. I'm going to tell you right now, I've worn a suit one time on detail my entire career. Once. That's it. And that's the only time. And it was overnight, so I don't even know why I was in a suit, because there was nobody to see me. But like I said, so usually international details, usually with some risk involved. And then, I don't know, 2008-ish, we started training others to know what we knew, because what we were doing was something a little bit different than what was being put out there in the training environment. We weren't doing the mainly the PSD stuff, other than a couple of years in Iraq where I did do the plate carrier details. Other than that, everything was low profile but high risk. And so we didn't see a lot of training with low profile, high risk. The two-man detail in Juarez, the one-man detail in Beirut, Lebanon with a businessman, the entertainer that went down to Guadalajara, Mexico and just wanted one or two guys, all plain clothes, high risk areas, and a lower profile. We didn't really see that being taught. And so that is what we started teaching. And I think that's what we've kind of developed into is an organization that not only does the work still, but teaches that model of protection, which I think is probably the most prevalent model out there. I think most of the details out there are smaller details, 1 to 3 man, and more of a plain clothes rather than a suit, rather than a plate carrier.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And that's a big thing is that, like a lot of companies I always talk about, some of them are just training companies where there's a few of you guys that are actually fully operational, and you're, trickling or transitioning all that information and knowledge down into a training platform or program, right? So with that being said, now let's talk about the training component with SECFOR. Obviously, you have your GI Bill, correct?
Well, we did. We were partnering with colleges before, so we were subcontracting for colleges, and pretty much all the colleges are shut down in California. So with that went the GI Bill programs. And so what we did to respond is we came up with kind of our next component, which was the online theory, because in our 7-week program we were delivering before, there was a lot of theory. Guys always want to come out and jump through fiery hoops and rappel out of helicopters and stuff like that. But as we know, this is a mental game. And there was a lot of theory that we would put out in this long academy we were delivering. Well, we can do that online now. I can give you the exact same courses in theory I was giving online. I can be there to answer questions. I can grade your route mapping, your advanced work. I can do all this stuff online, which is what we're planning on doing, and then bring you out for a much more abbreviated hard skills session to get your medical certs, to get your driving, to get your firearms, to get your AOPs down, to get that stuff down. And what that's going to do, that's going to get these guys to work quicker and this dead time where we can get together in a group, then we can't get together in a group. We wear masks, we don't wear masks. In this kind of confusing time, okay, stay home and train. I can get you training now. And then when everything opens up, come out to our hard skills and knock one of them out. We'll have about 6 of those scheduled throughout the year. Whenever you're done with our online program, you can schedule for the hard skills, come out and rock and roll.
Okay. And currently right now, what courses online are you offering at the moment?
So the ones we're spitting out as soon as possible, I think on the July 20th mark is when we're going to be launching the first 2.
Okay.
We're going to be launching some individual courses. Later on, we'll have an actual complete 20-course package. But the first one we're going to put out, and then I'll explain why too, is our route mapping course. This is one that you ever seen Zoolander when they're trying to get in the computer to get to the files? Yeah, that's what it looks like when you have 25 knuckle draggers in front of our laptops trying to bang out these route maps first couple hours. But then we smooth them out. So we need to get the modern day protector on the damn computer and punching out these route maps. And we're about to make a video that kind of markets that aspect to explain why we do this. And again, I come from a high threat background. The GPS, I call it the dummy lady in my phone that tells me in 300 meters to turn right. That doesn't do me anything in El Salvador. I need to see my routes. I need to see my safe zones. I need to see my landmarks. I'm terrain identifying on my next turn based on what's on my satellite map that I've prepared before I got there. I need to see all that before I get there, not when something's gone down and I really need it. And another thing that I always tell people, so you're navigating with your phone and now you have an emergency and you need to use your phone. Crap. So yeah, I know 2 phones and all that. And again, GPS will ping you, but it won't route map you. It won't show you your lay of the land. It won't show you your routes. So there's a ton of reasons we do this. And you don't know how many good people I haven't hired because they couldn't do this. I got a gig in Juarez, Mexico a few years ago. I have a very qualified individual that was referred to me, and I always pose a question. You're going to be picking up your executive at a hotel near the airport in El Paso, Texas. He wants to go down and look at 4 maquiladora properties in Juarez. Go. Tell me what you're going to do.
Awesome.
Now, really good guy. If he listens to this, I don't want to insult him. I'm not using his name. I know he was a solid guy, but his answer was, I'll keep my head on a swivel. I can't use you. There's a whole process you should know when you're posed that question. And if part of that process isn't, I'm going to sit my butt down and map these routes out so that I know where my safe havens are, my medical assets are, my alternate routes are at a glance, and my finger is on that map the whole time I'm rolling, my right front seat. I'm not buried in the book. My head's up. I'm picking out that next landmark, and I'm moving that finger. And that's basically how we're doing it. So I figured, what a better thing to put out first other than the route mapping. I know we're limited on time, so let me hit these other ones really quick.
Yeah.
Second one is the kidnap and ransom case management for executive protection professionals. This is not Russell Crowe stuff. This does not teach you how to use a multi-tool to cut the throat of a FARC rebel that's kidnapped your client. That's the advanced course. So the point of this is when I started working in Mexico, I would get called from clients saying, hey, one of my employees was kidnapped. My uncle was kidnapped. We had Mexican-American clients as well down there. Can you do anything? Well, crap, I don't know. I came from a little bit of an investigative background myself, so I would put together target folders and just like hand it off to somebody who could do something. That's how I would do it back in the day. Then I got together with, I won't say their names right now because they didn't authorize me to, one of the icons in K&R Consulting. His father, some of you guys will know who this is, started a company in Latin America out of the agency back in the day. And they started doing K&R for the private sector and then the insurance companies. Well, I got together with this guy years ago and I learned the other side of the house, how it really works behind the scenes. The insurance, how the consultants really get to the bottom of this, who's really negotiating and all these different things. And I started getting involved with this. We started running cases down there. And after a while, I kind of put together this nice 6-phase system that will teach security professionals what they should know if their clients or teams are working in these areas. That's the second one we're going to be putting out. That'll be out before the end of July as well. And then eventually we'll have, I think by September, a 20-lesson protective security certificate online. That's the one where when you complete that, you can come out to our 2-week kick in the butt hard skills session to finish off your training.
No, and there you have it, folks. I mean, so you're saying this stuff will be up by the end of July, correct? Or is it?
Yeah, the route mapping in about a week. That's going to be July 20th. And then the kidnapping is going to follow just after that. And these will be a part of the big package. So anything that you buy now will be deducted from the cost of the big package when it comes out.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's a value add as well. Rick, as far as how, for people on social media, especially LinkedIn, who should they connect with? Is it?
So on LinkedIn, the best thing to do is just to connect to Rick Sweeney. That's me. You'll see me, Rick Sweeney. It'll say President of SECFOR International. Hit me up. I'm always on the phone with new guys that have no intention of coming to our course. That just want to know what their next move is. And I don't know how many people I've talked out of my course. Hey man, you don't need that. I'm going to hook you up with this recruiter over at Constellus. They're going to get you to work now. Hey man, you should go to this school over here. It's closer to you, and I know you got a family. I talk a lot of people out of my course. I want these guys, especially these vets, which is most of our business comes from the veteran community. I want them to get into the industry they want to get into. I was there back in the day. I started at the lowest level in this industry, and just through sheer determination and knowing how to get around brick walls when they fell in front of me, I was able to get to where I am now. And like you guys, and I know some others in the industry, we're turning down more work than we can accept. And that's where I want all these vets to be. If they play their cards right, they can be there.
Excellent. And, also too, for everyone that's listening, historically, we've hired outstanding candidates straight out of SECFOR over at AS Solution. Back in the, we had the honor to go out there and speak a couple times, at your class. So, I mean, top-notch training. And do you still have, was it a 53-day program that your hard skills?
Yeah, we'll still be offering that through SECFOR a couple times a year. But like I said, a lot of these guys want to get to work quicker. I can do almost the same thing with the new model, just because these guys aren't going to be in there smashing my computers up for a week or two now. Now they're going to be smashing their own computers up at home, which is a lot better for me. And I can do a lot of this stuff. When you watch our videos, you see all the hoo-yah stuff, but how fun is it to show a bunch of guys at a computer cursing and banging on the keyboards and things like that? Not very fun. So yeah, we show you the fun stuff, right? So if you look at our videos, you get a good representation of the hard skills that we do. And again, we go to the extreme with this stuff. We don't half-ass it, I guess we could say. So when you come out, you earn it. And I think that's what a lot of people, especially these vets that have been through other trainings, they enjoy that when they come out, that they were actually challenged and nothing is given to them.
Okay, good. And also, too, everyone, make sure you connect with Rick Sweeney on LinkedIn, but most importantly, get over to SECFOR on Instagram. When you guys are running classes, there's a bunch of cool guy pictures. And the big thing is, as well, is that I know that you teach a quality product, but I think your venue and all your logistical support that you have with your training is top notch. I can't stress that enough, because I know there's a lot of schools that just go through the ropes, but what you set up and how you execute and do your FTXs and the venues is pretty awesome.
We know when our students are shaken, especially a combat experienced vet is shaken after the end of one of our scenarios, we did something right.
Dude, that's awesome. So, okay, Rick, well, thank you for coming on. We'll stay tuned for when you launch these 2 online courses at the end of the month. And I'm looking forward to them, actually, to jump in myself and get some additional training.
Really quick, one thing I didn't mention is the new division is called SECFOR 360, and the reason we call it that is because we're actually going to be incorporating 360 video into our final training scenario. So you'll be sitting in your living room you can do it with a headset, or you can do it with your laptop or whatever, and you're rolling down right front seat Beirut. And now you have to pick out problems. Yeah, oh yeah. This has been in the works for a while, man. You have to pick out those same problems that we have to pick out, and you have 360-degree vision. So you're sitting in that same seat, looking out that windshield. You can look out your side windows, look out the back, and you can pick out these same things we have to. We've got rolling down the streets of Beirut. We've got you in the back seat of the follow vehicle in Juarez, Mexico, seeing if you can pick out a mobile surveillance. We've got you in a marketplace in Bogota, Colombia, to see if you can differentiate those anomalies from that baseline that we would have showed you the day before. We've got things set up for you that we haven't seen out there before, and we're really excited to kind of launch that. And that's going to be in the testing phase of the big program.
Awesome, dude. That sounds amazing. That's great. That's one thing about, COVID is forced a lot of us to really think outside the box and how do we transition all this stuff, online. That is awesome. That is awesome. And one last question: what is a personal or a business lesson learned that you learned since the start of this whole COVID-19 fiasco?
The COVID-19 thing, don't have all your eggs in one basket, because the rug can be pulled out from under you at any time now. So that goes for just somebody working in the EP industry, because I know a lot of guys are out of work right now. A lot of our international details kind of went away right now, and they'll start up again eventually. One of our clients says, this guy we've had since 2008, he's not going to start traveling again until 2021. That's putting a lot of our agents, off of that regular gig they had. So you guys that are doing EP, you guys that do own EP companies or security companies, make sure you're covered. One thing goes down, you pick up with the other thing. You have to be quick and agile in this industry, especially with what's going on in the world today.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, hey, Rick, I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and hope to see you soon, Rick. Look forward to this training.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.